Hello everyone. I'm Jamie Trull, your favorite CPA and financial literacy coach. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is payroll. So we're talking about small business payroll here. And specifically, I've done several different videos that focus in on payroll and compared multiple different payroll solutions for you. But today I'm just going to be focusing in on one of those solutions, which is Gusto. And so I'm going to be doing a full review of Gusto payroll so that you can get a feel for what Gusto is like. I'm going to tell you the pros and I'm going to tell you the cons. And I'm going to tell you some changes that they've also made this year. I'm recording this towards the end of 2022. So this is the current status of Gusto at the end of 2022 into 2023. So we're really going to be talking about the current status of this payroll company and whether I recommend it or not. Now, I'll start by saying Gusto is definitely not for everyone, okay? There are definitely some pros, some things I really like about Gusto that I think are fantastic, and there are some reasons that maybe Gusto might not be right for you. So we're gonna go through each of those things so that you can know if it's a good solution for you. Obviously, you're probably already thinking about it because you're watching this video. So I want to talk first about who Gusto is best for. Now, in my opinion, Gusto is best for that smaller business owner, maybe one who is fairly comfortable with learning a new software. You don't need to know the ins and outs of payroll itself, but just be comfortable in a fairly intuitive software environment and comfortable kind of getting your hands dirty and finding things in there. I do think that it's a very intuitive platform to figure out. And there's a lot of really good FAQs and different things like that. There's a great chat function that you can use if you are having trouble. But overall, I really do like the interface. And I think it's one of the simpler interfaces for payroll that I have seen. So overall, I really love Gusto for especially those businesses that have under 10 employees, right? Now, you can go up, right? There are businesses on Gusto that have quite a bit more than 10 employees, but I find that it's a little bit more complicated, right? You probably have more complex payroll needs. And if that's the case, then I have some additional recommendations. If you want to see all my recommendations, you can go check out jamietrull.com/payroll. I have a whole decision tree in there that'll walk you through maybe which selection is right for you based on your situation. But I really love Gusto most for those with simpler payroll solutions that don't have a lot of complexity to their payroll, are really looking for a cost-effective solution, have a smaller business, and have some comfortability with using a software program. Now, you won't have to be in it a ton. You can put autopilot on for a lot of this, and that's something that I also love about Gusto and something that I use in there. And so you don't need to be an expert, but I do find that that's probably the best suited person. Now, if you have a much bigger company, or you have employees in lots and lots of different states, or perhaps you have just complicated payroll in general, you have a lot of different things going on, Gusto might not be the best solution for you, in complete honesty, right? There are some other solutions like ADP that have more fulsome solutions. I do know that Gusto does have its premium service. I've never used it, so I can't really attest to it. So that could be an option, but I love ADP for some of those bigger companies. But if you fall in that sweet spot for Gusto, then this is a great way to have a cost-effective solution that's easy to use. So now, before we get too far into this video, I do want to tell you that I am an affiliate for Gusto. I have some special promos that you can get for using my code, but I will say the reason that I recommend Gusto at all is not because I am an affiliate for it. I am an affiliate for it because I use it and love it and recommend it, okay? So I do suggest you do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. It's really important to research different tools. That's what you're doing here on YouTube, right? So it's a good thing that you're here. But I do want to let you know that you can get a $100 Visa gift card by using my code, jamietrull.com/Gusto, okay? And I also have some special offers as well where you can get my hiring cheat sheet. This is great, especially if you're hiring for the first time. So if you use one of my codes, then you can go over and claim that cheat sheet at jamietrull.com/payroll, okay? So I'll keep all of this. I'll put this all in the show notes so that you know where to go. But I did want to let you know I do have that promo code so that you can save money on Gusto. Now, let's talk about another pro of Gusto that I really like. My favorite part about it, likely in addition to the interface, which I think is really easy to use, I also love that it's upfront pricing. I cannot stand nickel and diming, okay? Like, I fly Southwest because I don't want to pay for my seat and my bags. I already did that. So for me, I get so tired. We're living in this world of nickel and diming everything, right? They get you in with these low prices and then they hit you with all these fees and you're not prepared for them. And as a finance person, I really like to budget for the fees that I'm going to have. I don't want anything to surprise me. I don't want to get to the end of the year and have a whole bunch of fees for running W-2s. Of course I need a W-2, right? I have employees. I have to issue them. It would be ridiculous for a payroll company not to include that in the package that you're already paying for. So I love that everything is included within Gusto. There's nothing that is going to come up and surprise you, okay? It's very, very straightforward, and the pricing is what it is. Now, going back to a con, though, of Gusto, right, is they aren't accountants necessarily. So when you call into support, right, and you're having an issue that is a technical issue from an accounting perspective, not with the software, but an accounting issue, right? Maybe it's something having to do with your workers' comp or something like that. They can help walk you through what you need to do, but they're not going to be able to opine on accounting issues. So that's where it can be really important, especially if you have any complexity at all with your payroll, to also have an accountant who can really liaise with payroll and make sure it gets set up correctly. I do find that that is one of the things that people complain about the most, is that, you know, something goes wrong or something's not filed, and it's usually not because of Gusto itself, right, or whatever payroll provider you're using, but it's because of how it was set up to begin with. And so Gusto, you don't have a person necessarily back there that's running your payroll. It's all automated. It's a software, meaning however you set it up, that's what's going to happen. So I think we expect to be able to call and get a hold of an accountant. That may not be the right payroll service for you. If you want that, you might need more of a full service type of payroll that either comes from your accountant or potentially pair an accountant with something like Gusto so that you can get that expertise as well. Because when you call in support, that's not the kind of thing that they're really going to be able to assist you with. Now, while we're on the topic of customer support, I think this is really important to talk about because Gusto has actually come out and said, we recognize that we have had some declines in our customer support. So when I first started with Gusto a couple of years ago, I raved about their customer support. It was fantastic. I always got the help that I needed. I could always get a hold of someone. They always got back to me when I had issues. I felt like it was phenomenal. It was one of the things I loved about it most. And then circa 2020, when the pandemic hit and when different things started to happen, it seems like that just changed, right? It seems like something happened where I think they were short on staff. They weren't able to provide the level of service that they really needed to. And there were lots of additional things coming out with COVID relief that really put a strain on their resources. So not to make excuses, but they definitely suffered with their own expectations for customer service. So that has been something they have been working on. And I have seen it lately start to come back closer to what it used to be. And so I have been happier now. I was a little bit concerned and I have voiced that to them, but I really have seen that improvement. And I think now, after they had a huge influx of people also coming to Gusto all at one time, which was another thing that put a strain on resources, now they have refined systems and really come up with even better packages that are going to help them support people at a better level. So they have recently made changes to the packages that they offer, and some of the reason that they made those changes was, in my opinion, I'm guessing, to address this issue about customer support and make sure that people are really getting the customer support that they need. Now, speaking of that, I do want to jump in right now because if you are thinking about payroll, I'm recording this in November of 2022. So if you sign up for Gusto between now and the end of the year, that doesn't mean you need to run payroll by then. Just sign up between now and the end of the year. You won't be billed at all until you start running your payroll, okay? And you run that first payroll by January 31st. So if you want to get a new payroll provider up and running for the new year, which I do recommend, it's a really good time to start a payroll system or to move from one that you're not really happy with. if you want to get up and running on Gusto Payroll, they have a special deal for my favorite tier of theirs. So of their pricing tiers, I love their Plus plan, and I do recommend that. The Simple is fine, maybe if it's just you and one other employee or something like that, and you really don't need much, but I really like the Plus plan. And the Plus plan is on sale, and I'm gonna tell y'all, Gusto, I've never seen them have a sale. This is the first time I have ever seen Gusto have a sale. So check out jamietroll.com/Gusto. Again, if you're watching this after, it probably isn't on sale right now. That doesn't mean it's still not a good deal, but right now it's on sale for 6 whole months. You can save 25%. Okay, so I think that's a great deal. You can see it here. If you're watching this during the end of 2022, then this is the best time to sign up. And like I said, you're not going to be billed until you run your first payroll, but you do want to make sure you run it before the end of January. Okay, now you can move payroll at any point in time. I just love, I'm an accountant. I love like the idea of that clean start at the beginning of the year. It's a really good time for me to kind of get new things up and running, and you can close out the year and run your W-2s with your old payroll system and then get up and running on something like Gusto. Now, the reason that I say I like the Plus, I'll just show you the differences here on why I like the Plus over the Basic. Overall, the Basic has a lot of great things that you need, right? It's got your W-2s and 1099s that you're going to run. You're going to be able to do your hiring and onboarding through it, and time off reports and all of that kind of stuff. It's going to have basic support, which it doesn't say here, but ultimately basic support runs from about 9 a.m. Pacific time to 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's what basic support is. So that's fine probably if you're in the Pacific time frame, but if you're in Eastern, that's 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. So it's kind of interesting. That's all the support you would get with a live person. You can always get to the FAQs, but that's the only live person support that you would get. So if you need something out of that time frame, you wouldn't be able to get it. You get a couple extra hours earlier, right, if you do the Plus plan. So this is where you get full support. Full support basically means that you have extended hours that you are able to get a live person on the line, which I think can be really helpful. So it actually runs about 2 hours earlier in the morning. So if you're in the Eastern time zone especially, that means instead of waiting until noon, you can start calling at 10 a.m. So then you'd get 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay, so it really depends on your time zone, but ultimately that's one of the best things about it. The other reason you might need to go with the Plus plan, okay, is one change that they made is now with Plus, if you have employees in multiple states, you have to get Plus, okay? So the basic plan, the simple plan is only for those who only have employees in one state. So if you're anything like me, I currently have a few employees, but they are all in different states. And so I have to be on the Plus plan now that has moved over. And the reason that that's more expensive, you might wonder, like, why does it matter if I have employees in different states? What's the difference? Well, there's a lot more that needs to be done in terms of filing additional state reports. Each state has additional requirements as far as workers' comp and things like that. There are additional forms that need to be filed. So it does make sense to me that they would have a higher price if you have multiple different states, because that is more work for Gusto, okay? So I do recommend, and I do think that the Plus package is really a great value, unless you just need the most simple of plans possible, in which case you can start with the simple plan. But again, with the deal right now, if you're listening to me now, the Plus plan may be the way to go. So that's all I have for today. Again, I'm going to outline the steps for you. If you know you want to sign up for Gusto, go right to jamietroll.com/Gusto. You can sign up and get that $100 Visa gift card just for signing up. You're going to get that for free by using my link. Again, you're also, if you sign up for the Plus, you're still going to get that discount for 6 months if you sign up between now and the end of the year, okay? And you don't have to run payroll until next year. You won't be charged before that. So that's the first thing. If you're still trying to decide what payroll is right for you, then continue to do your research. You can also go check out the other platforms that we recommend and who they're best for at jamietroll.com/payroll. And also on that same page, you'll see where you can request the hiring cheat sheet. And we do give that to those of you who use one of our referral links for one of our payroll providers. You can just let us know which one, we'll verify that, and then we're gonna send you that hiring cheat sheet for free. So you get not only a $100 Visa gift card, yay, you also are gonna get that hiring cheat sheet directly from us. us. So we hope that you make the best decision you can on payroll. Again, we're continuing to come out with more and more content on this. So if there's something you want to know more about, please post in the comments. Let us know what you would like to hear about, and hopefully we'll see you next time.